if you noticed, I'm not sure if you are aware of, but in the last 3 weeks, the government just formed a new government requirements and few ministers that's focused on the technology and the digital wise. They are focused on the cybersecurity. They are focused on the digital economy. Imagine that we are now looking for the economy where it is like a digital economy. It's more focused on the technology. So you can see now the vision of the government, where we want to proceed, how we want to be so efficient and reachable and available, not only for the internal, but how we can now grab and evolve our economy by using and leveraging, let's say, for example, technology in order to persuade the investments and improve our economy within the government. What security measures need to be taken care of, since we're already thinking of to take the technology in order to support our business functions as a government in order to be more sufficient and more secured. So these are ministers that the leaders have been put into. You can see now the vision through them, where they want to be. So this is what the message now, and that's what our rules now to be in. And that's what we actually started to look at. Since we already given that direction, we started to look for the vision and the strategy of the government, how we want now to be more sufficient, looking in a different angle to be commercialized instead of like a government requirement. Now, how we really looking to have services that really support the governments, at the same time, how these are so sufficient that it can be reduced. Like one of the examples that I'm going to talk about, very reacted actions post on the COVID-19 is Department of Tourism and Culture created a virtual tour for everyone. So now you can actually book your virtual tour, and you will find even like a tour guide who will takes you that site, but it's virtually now. So these kind of both reactions regarding to tourism, what we're saying at the same time is like how we can reach, make our services available. And definitely this is like a very simple example, but here we go. We are in that direction that we need to put more and more in that. And that's what we want to have it. And now I'm going to talk about from a governmental perspective, where we already put the thinking of as a leaders, they put already think. So what we need as also a leaders from an expertise in the security, we need to support that vision and the strategy in order really to have that mechanisms in place, but in a very secure way. And I'm sure that very technology is going to come up. Let's say, for example, the blockchain. If we're talking about different and expand the audience or the customers, we need to have, we're looking for a big scale. So it's like, what are the mechanisms that really will support us at the same time will provide us with what we're looking for from measures and controls in order to have these services. Definitely we're going in the end to support our business, but we need to make sure that our businesses are available all the time and operating securely. And our customers now, when we talk about the customers, we're looking for their data, the data of the government, and also the privacy now. And especially like when I'm talking about my field, I'm taking care of the privacy to take all these into consideration. Why we're taking this more seriously? Because very big organization, we're talking about Google, Twitter, there were in a very interesting situations where the data of their customer been leaked. If these big organizations, and I'm sure about the measures that they're putting from a security perspective, it's been already breached and these details is being already leaked, then we have to worry, really, because again, the mechanisms it's getting developed, the ways and the techniques becomes different now, and the concerns that we have is now people, because of the COVID, started to use more and more and get involved with the technology. That's an example. Is like my mom and father, they did not use the technology so much. They are more even now using the technology more than me. So it's like, okay, now people started to use the technology so heavily, but how they were going to use it, at least with the awareness of what measures they need to take it. So there is a big burden on us in order to deliver now an awareness as well for the public, for the customers, in order to also provide them with the trust and the confidence that I will take care of your details. Please provide me, because my business still need these details in order to perform. So how I assure you that you still can reach me and I'm able to protect your details and your details is safe with me. That's what we're going to work on. And that's the message that I want to actually, to be honest, deliver, because this is very important for my business as well. In order, we're talking about tourism. We want the tourists to come in here. How you will be able to come in here? You feel safe. You feel that everything is protected when you share your details with me, and everything is protected. So it's like, from a CISO, what messages we need to deliver, what risks we looking for, is that these are the risks that are going to, whether it's going to impact our strategies. We're going to look at it, and we're currently looking into these risks, especially that we are linked now with everything that is going on, in order to see like how these are going to impact the tourism sector. And now I'm talking about my field, definitely. And there's also, when it comes to what are the other sectors that we're looking for, the business started to change their approaches and the way of thinking in towards how their business is operating. And they started to approach and use different ways now, which is very exciting and challenging at the same time, because we need to capture all of these.
Definitely. And has this crisis of COVID, has it actually enabled you to do things that were in your longer plan, but sooner? Because I'm sure all of these digitization things were somewhere in the pipeline. Maybe it's been a good opportunity.
Yeah, there are things that were in the pipeline that we have already planned, and we just expedited the time, because the situation just put us in that situation. The COVID put us in that situation, which is good actually, because which means that we are somehow in the right strategy that we're looking for, which means that such cases where it's a COVID, or we're now predicting what possible can happen, in order to ensure that our businesses are up and running and it's reachable in any way, somehow, for everyone. Now that's what we're looking for. That's give us like an assurance that yes, you're right, in the right track, in order to proceed. Now there are some additional requirements that came in, definitely, because of the physical interference started to be absent. Like I've said, is like the virtual tour. We have a virtual, definitely, galleries that we're doing, and this has been done, but now it started to be expanded. And the way of how businesses started to think of it, started to think of, again, the technology is the key in order to reach out for these consumers who cannot actually be on site. And I've seen that also in Europe, where we've done the studies, is that actually in Europe, because it's closer, which is very nice, I've been seeing like students going, let's say, for example, from museums, coming from Spain to France. So that's give also our business an opportunity. Oh, that's good. We can now provide these tools, especially for students, if we're going to consider that the time and the traveling costs and so on, that they will be hesitant actually to go as universities and so on. They can now start to approach the virtual services that can be provided and so on. And definitely now both things are being considered, and businesses started to think of different ways, including definitely the technologies that we need to look at. So how we're going to put these requirements and put the and think of the cost effective as well, which means that it's like is what we're doing is really added value in the long term or not. And that's one of the things also that we're going to we're looking for and we are considering, um, based on actually the outcome of the COVID, which changed also the strategies of the government and so on, in order for the business to start to look at these important points.
So will there be a digital tourism that that didn't exist before, even after COVID?
Yes, possibly is that we're going to have actually these kind of services, digital tourism for the public and for the customers or and the visitors for UAE. So yeah, definitely, is already in a line and it's already happening, which you can go and see some of the tours as well now, virtual tours, and more additional services that are coming in the line.
Lovely. Well, it's an exciting future. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Yeah, thank you very much.
No worries,